I would say that most channel material is a confusing mixed bag of truths, half-truths, and lies. However, I believe there are channeled entities doing their best to assist us to the best of their abilities, but they are limited as well as we are in predicting exactly what is going to happen in the future. The way channeling works, in general, is that the entities who temporarily possess a human body, often called a vehicle, read the consciousness of that vehicle and at the same time tuned into the mass consciousness of the entire population of the whole planet. They hook up to the planetary matrix, i.e. everything on the planet itself as a semi-conscious being. They also have access to the Akashic records of the whole human race, and they have their own mass consciousness and that of the multiverse to draw information and knowledge from. Some of them are also from our future and past, so they may have quite a lot of information from their own memories to draw from. By having their multidimensional perspective, these entities can answer our questions with a high rate of accuracy, but the cons are that when they look into the future, things become slippery. Any and all beings on the planet, although to some degree predictable, make decisions every second of their lives, and these decisions create an outcome. If we then combine the decisions of nearly 7 billion people, the mutual outcome for the human race, and everything we affect is quite unpredictable. Thus, it's very hard for these entities to tell the future of the mass consciousness. It's always easier to tell what will happen in a day or a week than it would be to predict what will happen in a year or longer. We then need to include all the timelines involved. All these entities can do is to read the present consciousness of the planetary timeline at which they have entered, predict how the human consciousness will react and act in the future, still based on the time in which they operate, and get a probable picture of the future. However, any channeled entities worth your while will tell you that this is a very slippery business, and it's preferable not to try to predict things too precisely. When taking part of channeled material, we must consider the agenda of the channeled entity or group consciousness. They can tell us things they want us to know and at the same time exclude what they don't want you to know. In addition, different entities have different levels of awareness, and just like with us humans, some may be truthful while others lie to push forward their own agenda. We will discuss this problem in other papers as well. It is always a struggle to lay a puzzle that is multidimensional, and we have to accept that we are just in the beginning of learning things. Whatever conclusions we come to today will be subject to future editing. What holds true today may be old paradigm, tomorrow in the fluid and ever-changing multiverse. Another thing that is very important to consider is if the channeled entities are giving your power away or not. Only if the information is uplifting and can bring you to a new level of experience is it worth your time. And if they tell you to give your power to someone else than yourself, ascended masters, or whomever, same thing. Close the book, turn off the CD, and start looking elsewhere for valuable material. A typical example of quality channeling which falls into many of the categories above is, in my opinion, the Pleiadians, channeled by Barbara Marciniak. In this case, their agenda is known and openly discussed by the entities, and they have been consistently assisting mankind for 23 years as of this writing, without contradicting themselves. Their information is uplifting and educating, and when it's more on the serious side, it always leads to a solution on the other end. Being open about that they do have a personal agenda and what it is a positive thing in itself. Now we know what they want and how they want it, and it's up to us to agree with them or not. We can choose to be part of their agenda and see how it can benefit us, or we can opt out and choose another direction. According to the Pleiadians, they are us in the future, but also our ancestors. They were part of the genetic engineering of humankind in the ancient past and are now stuck in a future timeline, which is not very pleasant to live in. They are directly connected to the events happening here on Earth in this nanosecond, and they want us to make more conscious decisions than they did when they were here at this particular time on their timeline. They chose a machine world before a more simplistic, conscious reality closer to nature, and their agenda is to change their own timeline so that the nightmare they are living in now, our future, can change as well. They are refugees from different star systems, beings who have come together as a collective to contact us and educate us on what is ahead. They say we have free will to do whatever we want, but they are hoping that by teaching us, we will make more conscious decisions than they did in their past. If their agenda is successful, it could potentially mean that they cease to exist in their reality while we will thrive in ours, but they are willing to take that chance of creating their own extinction. The alternative, they say, is that if we choose the same route as they did, it's a good chance we will end up where they are.